next 4 trainings is leverage the 5-part series, power training series conducted by Mr. Darnell Self and Mr. Brian Carruthers, who, as you all already know, are 2 of the heaviest hitters in the entire company and probably in the entire network marketing industry. And so this is a new year, new energy, new fire, new inspiration. And so we want to just take a moment to get everyone inspired again and remotivated to really kill it this year, because convention's right around the corner and TNH needs to be on that stage, okay? We all need to be on that stage representing at the next convention. And not only that, not only because of that, but also because we all are here for a reason. You know, we all believe in the mission. That's why we joined this company. If you didn't believe in the mission, you wouldn't be here. You definitely wouldn't still be here if that wasn't the case. So, so tonight and for the next 4 trainings, we're going to focus on the power training series to get re-inspired. So what I want to do is, I'm not going to play the whole video. It's over an hour long. I'm just going to just take out a few snippets that I wanted us to watch together and just, you know, collectively soak up the energy and the vibrations from this content. But you do have the ability to watch this video at your convenience if you go to the Prospect app and go to the menu and then click on training. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we will go ahead and start with the first clip. I do have 4 clips that I want to get through. The first one's probably the longest one, about 8 or 9 minutes. And then we will debrief after each one and get your questions. If you have any comments, anything that stood out to you, definitely share your thoughts from what we watched tonight. All right, go ahead and share my screen. Make sure my sound is on. There we go. All right, and just give me a thumbs up if you're able to hear it once I start playing.
So why are we all here? Why are you here?
Good, everybody, we can hear it? Okay.
You're here, obviously, you're probably thinking I'm here to learn how to build my business, but there would not be a business if that car was not in that accident. So let me explain to you what happened. Harlan Stonecipher, school teacher, part-time insurance salesperson, was driving his car in rural Oklahoma, had a head-on collision. He wound up in the hospital. He had health insurance, thankfully, to put himself back together. He had auto insurance to get himself a new car, which was obviously beyond repair. He had life insurance, God forbid. Thankfully, he survived it. But while he was in the hospital, the other driver hired an attorney and sued him. He was served papers while he was in his hospital bed. He had to come out of pocket to lawyer up on that. On his teacher's salary and with his bank account, he didn't have a whole lot. It cost about $7,000 in 1969 dollars, which today is tens of thousands. It wiped him out financially to pay the attorney's fees. But when it actually got in front of a judge, he was found not guilty. He was never guilty in the first place, but he still had to pay the attorney to go handle that for him. And after he got through that, he said, there's got to be something that I could have had in place, or that any American should have in place to be able to handle something like that, because we've got insurance for everything else. What about legal bills? So 3 years later, he founded and Prepaid Legal Services was born. Now, I want you to think about this. How in the world is the son of a sharecropper, a school teacher, a part-time salesperson in the insurance field, how in the world is he going to go out there and convince law firms to put together a menu of services to provide to members that normally cost hundreds of dollars an hour, but he's going to do it for pennies on the dollar? You know how you do that? You have thousands of customers that are each paying a little bit, but he didn't have thousands of customers. So he had to convince the law firms to buy into his vision of one day we're going to have thousands of members in the state that are going to be paying you every single month. Until then, I need you to trust me. Can you imagine how those conversations had to go? And then he's out there going to customers and saying, hey, I'm putting these law firms together, and here's what this membership's going to look like. I want you to start paying. That's why there is one and only company of its kind like ours in the industry. The barrier of entry is so huge. You just can't go do what he did. 1972, 50 years ago, this company was born, and guess what? It wasn't until the 80s until it got real traction. When I looked at this company in 1998, the company was already almost 28 years old. Still hadn't even opened up in 6 states. And at that point, people told me, Brian, you've already missed the boat. It's old hat. It's not ground floor anymore. You're not going to make any money. It's not ground floor. I said, I don't want a ground floor company. I want a rock solid company tapping into a ground floor industry.
That's right.
But why the company started, who in America deserves access to the legal system?
Everybody.
If you live in America, if you don't know your rights, you can't defend your rights, you might as well not have any rights. What Harlan Stonecipher did was he made equal justice for all accessible. It's not a reality for everybody because you don't have it unless you've got this membership or unless you're wealthy. So it's available. Our job, yours and mine, is to go out there and tell people that the access to equal access to justice is available and they get to choose yes or no. That's our job. Try to get more yeses than nos. But our job is to go out and educate and inform the public that this vision is a reality now. Now, why PPLSI? Why this company with Legal Shield and ID Shield? Well, you guys already know there's a magazine that came out about 2022. It's called Prosper Magazine. There is a complete list of all the reasons why this company is the ultimate business opportunity. I'm going to share with you just a couple of these. First of all, it is a non-Me Too product. You can't go get this off the shelf. It's also a standalone product. When I saw this service, I said, I want to use it for myself. Even if there is no business opportunity attached to it, I would own this product. And a lot of network marketing companies, matter of fact, I'm going to give you an insight to a conversation I had a week ago. A week ago, I was talking to a guy who had been in network marketing for about 20 years. I said, what are you doing now? He said, I'm not doing anything right now. He said, I'm actually considering getting back into the network marketing space, and I would like to talk to you about what you guys are doing over at Legal Shield. And so I asked him, what products, did you sell before? What were you involved in? He goes, this, or this. What products are you still taking? None of them. I'm like, you're not taking the products anymore? He said, no, I'm not anymore. I said, why not? I said, if they were so good that you wanted to go get into the business to sell it to other people, why would you not take that product? Because, well, when I left one company that was selling one product, I switched to another company. I stopped taking that product so I can take this product. So I said, so you're basically just, you know what it's called, you guys? I didn't say it to him. It's the twisted mind effect. The twisted mind effect gets you to buy into the value of something because you're trying to go sell that value to other people. I've got friends in the network marketing space that I've known for many, many years that have been members of, they're not in our company, they're doing what they do already, but they have had our membership paying for it monthly for 20 plus years. It's a standalone product. People get it without even being in our business. And we have the highest sales to recruiting ratio in the entire network marketing industry. A lot of network marketing companies over the years get in trouble with the regulatory bodies because they basically have one-to-one. Like everybody who's getting the product are distributors. They don't even have much retail presence. That's not a real business model. We're the only network marketing company that business owners allow us to come in and offer our product to their employees. Our services are one of the hottest employee benefits in North America. So I'm just going through a few of these things, but look, at the end of the day, you can read the list. I mean, the list is 20 points long, but I want you all to appreciate what exactly it is that we have here and why it has stood the test of time over 50 years, and why it is that when you're talking to a prospect, they're buying your belief. They're buying your conviction and posture. So if you believe these things, If you believe that you want a non-Me Too product, a standalone product, where you got training and support, you got true mentors that actually care about your success, that are going to help you instead of holding you down. You can market to individuals or companies. You got access to events. And look, at the end of the day, this Prosper magazine is in your app, by the way. Go to the opportunity section under resources, scroll all the way over to the right, and you're going to find the digital Prosper magazine. Read this list. As a matter of fact, when you read it, you know what you're going to say to yourself? My gosh, every one of the prospects that I have not signed up yet, that have not pulled the trigger and made a decision, I need to get this Prosper magazine digitally texted over to them so they can read this list. When they read this list, you can talk them through some of those points, they're recruited. So that's a little bit about why this company. But the most important why is your why. Because here's the fact. The fact is, this company is going to thrive and grow and change lives. It's going to be bigger tomorrow than it is today. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, we're going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
All right, so that's the first clip that I wanted to share with you all. So thoughts? Anyone have any thoughts, any questions, any comments?
Well, I did drop my comment down into the chat. I mean, just hearing him say that we're the only company, whose product is offered as like an employee benefit, it's just kind of reaffirming, I think, for me, for my efforts. I haven't like knocked it out of the park in group, but that's definitely where I, spent a lot of my time in terms of trying to, learn new things and have that wouldn't say your focus or your major, you have your major and your minor. So I wanted that to be my major. So I think that just kind of helped me, feel okay about spending a little bit of extra time over there. So it was timely for me. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Dr. Roman. Yeah, I mean, the mission is clear. It's about the mission, even though, we don't always want to do, what's necessary and everything, but just staying focused on the why, whether it's the company's why, your prospects why, focusing on that. So thank you for sharing, Dr. Roman. Anyone else? Any other comments, questions, thoughts about what we just listened to?
Yeah, I just want to make a quick comment. I think that video or that clip of that video was so appropriate and so needed in this time. I think a lot of us, including myself, just need that extra recharge right now, or that extra boost, and just basically take it back to the basics. Why are we here? What's the real mission of the company? What we truly have, like this powerful asset that we have that needs to be shared. And Mr. Carruthers is right. This is going to be just as powerful tomorrow as it is today. I don't know how long ago that video was made, but I can tell you that's absolutely right. I could see like 2 years from now that same video being played and it will still hold true. That's the power that we have, guys.
Yeah, say it again. That's the power we have. Okay. All right. Well, let's keep the party going. If you have any other comments or thoughts about that first clip, go ahead and put it in the chat. And let's start the next video clip, which is going to be of Mr. Darnell Self and going over some of his story. All right, here we go.
A couple of things that Ms. Carruthers said that just it's amazing to me. The why PPLSI, why our company, is so huge. And it really hit me. I celebrated my 50th birthday about 3 years ago. And we have 50 of our friends join me in Turks and Caicos. About 20 of them are in the business. About 30 of them are not. And but 95% of us are entrepreneurs because you end up hanging out with folks who are like-minded. And I thought while we were there, every single one of my friends that are here have this membership. And most of them have the small business membership because they own a small business. And I thought, how powerful is that to know that you can add that type of value to your friendship, to the people you care about most, and know that they can't go get it anywhere else. It wasn't like they would say, Darnell, we love you, man, but Target has it cheaper. You know what I mean? Or let me check Amazon first. Like, they had to come to me, right, as their friend, because I'm the only one that can offer this $300 an hour product, access to lawyers, for $30 a month. And so it separates us. If any of my other friends, they were marketing, skincare, anything else, quite frankly, they could compare to something else and say, hey man, I will support you, but the $300 a month auto ship, we get our products from here. And I have to respect that as a friend because, that's their budget or that's their preference. So it feels good, number one, to be able to offer something that's a non-Me Too. The second thing in Dean Graziosi's book, the Millionaire Success, is it Millionaire Success Principles? Habits. Millionaire Success Habits. He talked about exactly what Brian Carruthers just talked about, and is that the first thing you say that's your why is probably not it. You're gonna have to go, what he suggests, and a lot of other people suggest, ask yourself that same question 7 times, right? So immediately when I'll give you an example. I did a training like this, and I asked the guy, hey, what's your why? And he says, I wanna make a lot of money. I wanna make 10 grand a month was his exact amount. I said, why? That's the second one. And he was like, I want a bigger house. And I said, why do you want a bigger house? And he's like, I want more room. I said, why do you want more room? And that's when he started thinking a little bit more. And he's like, because my kids share a room. And I said, what's wrong with your kids sharing a room? I bet if you ask a lot of folks, the way they grew up, they shared rooms with their siblings. And he said, because I have 2 boys and 1 girl, and my daughter's getting older, and I can tell she's a little bit uncomfortable sharing a room with her brothers now that she's developing. And I said, how do you know that's a problem? See how many whys I'm asking? I said, how do you know that's a challenge? Like, is that you or is that her? He said, because she tells me. I said, what does she tell you? See how deep we're getting? And I said, you can stop right now, because this is in front of like 40 people. I said, you can stop right now if you're uncomfortable, because he stood up to volunteer his why. And I just kept asking questions. And he says, no, it's okay. He's like, well, she tells me. I said, what does she say? And she tells me, Daddy, I'm going to get my own room soon, right? And I said, when does she say that? He said, every night when I kiss her goodnight. And I said, and what do you say in response? See, we're at 7 now. And he's getting emotional now, right? In the room as he's sharing this, he's like, I just turn away. And I smile and turn away because I don't want her to see the tears well up in my eyes. He said, because with my current job, I don't know when I'm going to get her in her own room. And I said, that's why you're here. Because your current job can't get her own room. You see? So the next time you think about not making the call, or the next time you think about the fear of what that person is going to say in response to you when you expose them to an opportunity, I want you to say, you know what, this one's for my baby girl's new room, and do it anyway. 30 days later, he became a director. He went up 3 levels to director. And because nothing else changed except him identifying his real why. It's not the skill. Some of us are waiting, well, I got to wait till I get the skill. So that's why it's so powerful what you just said with the why, because it's huge. But like Brian Carruthers said, he had his why. You got to find yours. You can't borrow someone else's. It has to be yours, and it'll push you, and it'll keep you consistent.
All right. So that was the next clip. Any thoughts about what Mr. Darnell Self shared?
Yes, we went over this kind of in that boot camp. But what he just said kind of added another layer to it. I'm going to ask myself my why over and over and over again until I get to the very bottom of it. Because honestly, if you ask me my why, I'm going to keep saying I want to make this money. But it got to be something deeper, because when I'm not making money, I could stop doing this and just get back to my clothes and my graphics company and be all right. But I refuse to let it go. Like, I still want to try to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So it got to be something. I'll figure it out though. When I do, then I'll be like, hey, y'all don't know my why. Y'all, y'all can cheer me on.
Absolutely. And as entrepreneurs, because we're all entrepreneurs, we're all business owners. So as our businesses grow and develop, and as we grow and develop, our why is gonna grow and develop. You know, our why is not gonna be the same why that we had when we started. And that's how it should be, because that's gonna, every time your why changes, your behavior and your actions change. And so it's extremely important to always keep your why at the forefront, but remember that as you rank advance, as you continue to serve the community, as you continue to help other entrepreneurs in their endeavors, your own why is going to change, and it should change. So thank you for that, Mr. Temple. Anybody else have any thoughts or comments about that clip?
I love what Kool-Aid said, because I've had a couple talks, one with Mr. Buford, actually two, and they get uncomfortable, but I like the fact that, you know, because I've watched this, I'm glad we're watching this, because I really like what they've had to say. And it's always good to keep that at the forefront. And like Kool-Aid said, you know, keeping that why at the forefront. And the fact that he hasn't fully gotten is kind of reassuring to me, because I understand, like, I have a couple whys. And I figured some of them out with, you know, Mr. Buford giving me the why. And I'm like, I really, like, be glad I like you, because I want to end this call right now. Like, this is not pretty, but it's not supposed to be, because that's when it's not pretty, you know, you're like, and how bad are you going to work for that? And so I love that. I love that reminder. I love that. Thank you, Kool-Aid, for sharing that, because that helps when the little negative bad angel is wanting to be like, you haven't done much, or, you know, whatever. And I can just flick and be like, I'm not alone, and I ain't staying this way. So I appreciate it. And thank you for sharing. And I'm done. Thanks.
Thank you, Chantel. Yes, it's so true. You have to dig deep. You have to dig deep and find that source within you, because that's what's going to propel you. That's what's going to keep you going in this business. Because, like, as you all have experienced already, you have beautiful highlights, beautiful moments, and you have really, you know, just terrible, you know, experiences with rejection and people ignoring you and all that stuff. But your why will cut through all of that. So thank you all for sharing.
Yeah, I just want to say this
Oh.
really, really quick. Yeah, I don't want to take up too much time, but one suggestion, if you don't know your why, or if you want to drill down, one suggestion would be is to grab your phone or grab a notepad and write down the word why 7 times. Write it down 7 times and just start off with your why. And then you ask your own self why, and just keep going down that why until you ask yourself why 7 times. And then you'll drill down to your real why eventually. And when you do, you want to post that. Post it on the mirror, post it on your phone, post it on your computer, post it in your car, post it somewhere visually where you can see it every single day, so you can remind yourself why you need to do your activity every day.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. I'm gonna start doing that, because writing it once is cool, but writing it 7 times, that's super effective. So thank you for that. Okay. If anyone else has any comments about that last clip, go ahead and put it in the chat. And we're going to keep things going with our next clip here. Let me share my screen again. All right, here we go.
You guys know what that is? Here it is. When your why is not driving you to do what you know you need to do. I was talking about how that makes you feel incongruent. that incongruency makes you feel guilt. You know you need to be doing this. You're not doing this. You feel bad about it. So what do? They avoid the business so they can avoid the guilty feeling. And they need to avoid it even further away when they know they're not going to do it anytime soon. They just disappear. They run from the business. And they blame everything else. They blame my upline's not available for me. Everybody's saying no. No. The number one thing is they were not doing the simple things that they know they should have been doing, and they were not doing it. And they avoid the business because of that. So you have people on your team right now that are avoiding the business because they know that they are not doing what they said they wanted to do and should be doing.
So true.
And so I just want to encourage you, don't worry about your team though. I need you guys, Tony Robbins does a little stuff to just remember this, right? So I want you all to remember this. Some of you all are in that space right now. You're avoiding doing the shit you should be doing that's going to get you the why that you said you need. You're avoiding it. Why are you avoiding doing the work? Why are you not getting 2 exposures with Prospect Today to watch a video, jump on a Zoom, whatever? Easy to do, easy not to do.
Yeah.
We can all agree it's easy to do it. Why are you avoiding it?
Yeah.
Because you're avoiding rejection? Well, if you avoid rejection, what's worse, rejection or completely assuring that you're never going to accomplish your why? So this is the number one reason why people quit the business. Make sure it's not your reason why you go down the path of quitting your business from avoidance. Don't avoid the pain. I'll give you one more thing. We got to move on. At Villanova, when I was in college, I was on the boxing team there for a hot minute. And I asked Coach Selby, who is an amazing coach. He worked with Muhammad Ali earlier years. He just amazing guy. And boxing is big in Philly, so he had a lot of experience. And I said to him, we would have practice and do sparring at night, at like 10 o'clock at night. When I wake up in the morning with a headache, trying to go to class, I was skipping classes because I had sparred the night before. So I'm like, that's why I quit it. But I asked him, I said, when I'm getting ready to spar, when is the nerves, when are the nerves going to go away? Because I got nervous when I was practicing. He said, the day that you stop being nervous is the day you're going to get knocked out. He said, every great boxer I've ever coached, every great of all time, they're always nervous getting in the ring. You might not notice it, but they are. If they're not, they're going to get knocked out. So you're going to be, I've been doing this for 24 years full time. I'm still nervous when I talk to a prospect, believe it or not. I'm still nervous before I get on a stage and do a training. I still have nerves. It's still always going to be there. Courage is acting in spite of the presence of nerves and fear. It's not like, oh, I'm going to wait till fear and nerves are gone. Then that's not courage. And by the way, that'll never happen. So just stop avoiding.
Right. All right. So that was the third clip. And one thing that really hit home was don't avoid the pain. Because Mr. Buford always says this, entrepreneurship is painful a lot of the time. And we have to get to the other side by going through the pain. So you can't, there's literally no way around it. Unless unless you're just complacent where you are, and that's totally fine. But if you want to take things to another level, you have to go through that pain. Any other thoughts from anyone?
I do.
Yes, Jonathan Buford, go ahead.
The pain of rejection is probably the worst. That pain of getting doors shut in your face, of telephones hanging up, and people just not responding to you. That kind of pain is something that's hard to get through.
Absolutely. And so that's the importance of training. That's why we train. That's why we hop on calls. That's why we, read books of the month. That's why we go to live events. That's why we soak up that those points so that we can toughen our skin and learn how to to just push past those objections, because we're going to be there. No matter who you talk to, no matter who, no matter what the situation is, you are going to be faced with those types of objections and that type of adversity. So thank you for sharing, Jonathan. Anyone else? And then we'll go to our next clip. Okay. So we have one more clip here. It's about 6-7 minutes long. And then we will wrap things up here. So let me go ahead and share my screen again.
The reason why Brian Carruthers had so much success his first year is because he already expected that he was going to win at that level. And your results will never exceed your expectations. So anyone who I've ever talked to, and I could just name names, they already expected that. They came in to win. They came in saying, look, there is nothing less than platinum for me. I didn't come to play small. And we'll teach you as we go throughout the day how to maintain that consistent vision. Because enough disappointment can cause you to start focusing more on sight, not vision. Vision is the invisible. And if you're not careful, you're looking at your bank account. That's visible. You're looking at the amount of people on your team. I've been in for 10 years. I got 2 people. That's visible. Vision is invisible. And it's hard to focus on the invisible, right? Without vision, without faith. And so most folks who've had massive success already expected I expect to win big here. Every day I wake up, I expect today, even when it doesn't end up being that day, it happened for me. Right? I learned through all the different no's, and I just want you guys to look at it that way. I want you to, listen, you don't have to dream as big as the person sitting next to you. This is why some people don't see what you see, because the vision is given to you, not them. You're expecting them to see your vision, but it wasn't given to them. So that means you can't wait on them to see your vision before you move. Right? So this vision piece is huge. And the thing that helped me, just so I can give you a takeaway, the thing that helped me to maintain the vision were things that I could see and hear every day. So I was visual, and still today in my office, right? Because my wife and I have these goals as empty nesters to have this spot in a tropical island. So those things are there. I see them. So they cause me to continue to think about and visualize that which I don't currently have, but I'm acting. My actions are acting as if I'm moving towards the thing I don't have. You guys, does this make sense to you all? So every day, I'm like, all right, today's my day. I'm moving one step closer to whatever your vision is. But and so the things I listen to take me close. Anything you listen to that moves you away from, you've got to close your ear gates to that. That could be people, it could be songs, it could be podcasts, it could be social media. You've got to block or stop following some of that stuff. It's causing you to doubt you and doubt what you know you've been told or you feel where you're supposed to be. You're like, look, in the next 5 years, I know I'm supposed to be here. Anything that causes you to think otherwise, you've got to make sure you limit that. Vision. I'm careful who I talk to and who I allow to talk to me. Vision.
So also on vision, guys, there's 3 visions that you need to sell and be sold on, okay? Number 1, what's the company vision? You guys know we already talked a lot about the company vision. You got to be sold on it, but you need to sell the company vision to others. Number 2 is your vision. Darnell was talking about your vision. You need to be sold on it, but you need to sell your vision to others. And number 3 is their vision. You need to be sold on the fact that you're going to help people figure out a vision for themselves and sell them on them getting it. Let me give you an example. And this is a lesson that I've learned recently. I've learned this recently. I have, in recent years, sabotaged the ability for me to grow my business bigger. Because I began talking so much about what we have done in the past. Here's what we did in the past. Here's what I did in the past. Here's all the money I've made. Here's how the company's paid out. Here's how many ring earners the company's got. People can't join the past. yes, you can establish some credibility with a couple points about it, but if you focus all your conversation on what you've already done, they're like, good for you guys, awesome, see you later. There's nothing for them. They can't join your past. So when I was doing a PBR, a private business reception in somebody's living room, which is how I built my business, just going, recruiting somebody, hey, get a bunch of friends over, I would go there, we do a short presentation. And it had an evolution process. Back at the beginning, we were using a whiteboard and drawing everything out. And then we had a flip chart or a flip board, and then we started, popping in a DVD and playing on their TV screen, all kinds of different ways we did it. But I'm taking you all the way back to the very beginning, when I would sit in a room, and let's say there were 7 people in this living room. I would share the product and the opportunity and so forth, and I would sell them all 3 visions at the close. I say, hey guys, here's the thing. You see the value in these services, right? You see that how we empower people, give people peace of mind. We're giving people access to something they can't otherwise find anywhere else. When I saw this, I got it, I use it, it's amazing, okay? The company is going to be a household name in the near future. Everybody in North America needs and will have these services. It's a foregone conclusion. So what I said is, I'm going to go take this business. I'm going to put 500,000 customers on the books. So that means I'm going to build a team of 50,000 people, because it's just a lot of people each doing a little bit. Nobody doing a lot of people doing a little bit. And in the process of that, I want you to understand how many of those people, of those 500,000 customers, you want to have on your book of business that you and your family is getting residual income on for the rest of your and their lives. Together. You want 10,000? You want 50,000? You want 100,000? Sign up right here. Let's go. I sold them on the company vision. I sold them on my vision, and they believed in the company vision and my vision, and I sold them on their vision, on what they're going to do for themselves in this business as a part of my vision, as a part of the company vision. People want to be led. They want to link their wagon onto a horse that knows where it's going. Are you selling yourself? People are buying you, or they're not buying you, but they're deciding on you. Can you sense my music right now? Do I believe what I'm saying? Am I passionate about it? Am I non-negotiable? Am I bulletproof? Well, that's how you got to get.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
All right. So that was the last clip that I wanted to share. Any thoughts or comments on what Mr. Carruthers just shared?
Yeah, I think that was a really good tie-in to all 4 videos, right? Like, if you can start with your why and then truly accept whatever rejection may come your way, the vision becomes clearer and clearer as you continue to do it. And also, as it becomes clearer to you, it's easier to help others see the vision of the why for you and for them and what they can do in it. And it just makes any rejection that may come your way a lot easier to take, because there's always somebody that's going to need it. And if you decide that your vision and your why is worth it, like, who cares about the 1 no or the second one or the 8th one at that? Like, eventually the chips will fall and you'll get your why.
Absolutely. Thank you, April. And really, like, we all kind of have some level of imposter syndrome with this business until we get to, to their level. But that's okay, because our mission is clear, our why is clear, and people respect, the authenticity of that. So keep going through keep being scared, keep being nervous, because that's what's going to propel you to the next level as you continue to rank advance and do wonderful things for the community through this amazing opportunity. Any other thoughts before we wrap up?
This was awesome. Thanks, Adia, for being the best host. That was great. This was great.
Thank you so much. Okay. Well, I'm just going to drop a couple of links in the chat here, just some our announcements here. So As you know, and this is all in Slack too, but as you know, every Monday we have a virtual business briefing that you can plug guests into. Every Tuesday we have a BizConnect mixer where you can just collaborate and fellowship with other business owners in the Detroit area. I'm sorry, this is a live mixer, the BizConnect mixer. That's every Tuesday. And at the end of every month, the last Friday of every month, we have a Road to Success social mixer that is spearheaded by Kool-Aid, Anthony Kool-Aid Temple. So definitely register for those events. And finally, if you are interested, if you've already registered for convention, you're interested in doing an Airbnb situation, we did that last year and it was so much fun. So if you want to save some money on the hotels and do an Airbnb situation, go ahead and register. Just drop your name into the pot so we can get a final count for that. And if you want to watch the entire video of this, it'll be, like I said, in Prospect under training. So next week we'll take some clips from part 2 and do the same thing until we finish the 5-part series. So thank you all so much for your time. I truly appreciate it. I hope you got something out of it. And let's keep killing it. Let's keep crushing it. So
No doubt. And everybody who are not, if you're not a manager or senior manager yet, make sure you look on LS Engage, because if you accomplish the level of manager or senior, go into the drawing to go to Jamaica too. So
Kool-Aid, you froze a little bit there, but hopefully you all got that. All right. Well, that's all that I have. So we'll see you next week, 7 p.m.
Thanks,
everybody.
Regina. This was amazing and awesome. You did great.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Let's go, TNH.
Yep.
Thank
Let's keep
you.
crushing it. Have a good evening.